If you ain't in the gym, you think you got all the talent and you ain't working to improve your talent and to improve your fitness and conditioning, it's only a matter of time until you get found out. So, yeah, man, that's what it is, bro.
And you have nowhere to hide.
You got nowhere to hide. No one can come and save you. This is not WWE. You can't tap your friend, let him come and fight for you. It's you and yourself in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Koh-versations with myself, Francis Koh. Yet again, we have another exciting show today, which I'm very much looking forward to. My next guest is simply the champion. Don't step with him in the ring. And by the way, if you owe him money, make sure you have it for him by Friday. Yes, sir, Mr. Chris Kongo. What's happening, sir?
All good, brother. Good to see you.
First and foremost, thank you for passing through, sir.
No problem. No problem. It's a pleasure.
Let's get straight into it.
Yes.
12 round of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
How many rounds do you train when you're training for 12 round of boxing?
Can be 12, can be 13, could be 15. All depends, man. All depends. In the gym, it's up to the coaches. Sometimes we train up to 40 minutes, just non-stop, just working on stuff. So, yes, it just doesn't matter, man.
Because I used to box.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when I say I used to box, let me clarify this. I used to go boxing training,
Mm-hmm.
and I had 2 fights.
Yeah.
I didn't like how the young, and the kid was, I think he was 4 years younger than me.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way he dealt with me. I said, it's not for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't catch the kid, and he was moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started throwing haymakers. They weren't landing nowhere. I got tired, and he worked me. That was the first fight. I was hurt because it's different.
Yeah,
it's,
of course.
It's like a different. It's all about technique. You know what you do. Like he saw me coming. I said, fine, cool. But 4 months later, training hard, went back. It's a different kid, still kid, because I was just starting off. So they put kids.
Yeah.
I think they didn't want to put anyone my age in it because I would have been finished. More or less the same thing happened.
Okay.
I said, you know what? That's not for me. I just left it because when we're watching it on TV, we think it's easy.
Yeah.
How hard is it to be a boxer?
It's so hard, man. People only see the glitz and glamour, the money, cars, houses, but no one really sees the days in the gym when we're working every day. You don't see that. You don't see the good days we have in the gym, the bad days we have in the gym, the all right days that we have, and it's harder. It's much harder than it actually looks. So a lot of people at home watching boxing think they can beat the person that's actually winning, but when they get in there, it's a totally different story, man. So no one understands until you're actually in what we call the squared circle.
It is different because I'm like, move done. But nah, it's different. What makes a good boxer, in your opinion? Because you're a good boxer. Let's not lie about it. And I guess one of the things I find that all the boxers I've been around, the self-belief is just out of this world.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what makes a good boxer?
The basic fundamentals of boxing. Good feet movement, a good basic jab, a basic 1-2, good lateral movement, and someone that's able to hit and not get hit, because that is the aim of the game. The aim of the game is not to get hit. So if I can hit you and you can't hit me, that is what boxing is about.
How easy is it though?
It's
when you're moving in what you call the squared circle, and the gloves, once you hit, you feel that, you feel it.
100%.
You feel it. How easy is it to maneuver with ease? And
it's never easy because you got different types of styles. They say styles make fights. So you got boxers, guys that like to hit a move, be slick, be fast, like myself. And you got the fighters that want to brawl and just they'll take a shot to land their own. So there's all different types of styles of boxing, man. And boy, it's never easy, man. It's never easy, you know, getting in there. But at the end of the day, the smart ones are the ones that always win the fights. So it's about being smart in there.
Well, in your opinion, because you said the smart ones, is it only what you do in the ring or what outside the ring? Because I say there's a lot of boxers, as much talent they have, especially the young ones. I believe, because they believe they're so good and they are good, but their attitude gets in the way. What's your opinion on that, and how do you think the young ones, because there's a difference between confidence and being cocky, and a lot of the fighters, because they're a nightmare to work with. They don't turn up on training on time, and when they get there, because they're so skillful, they think that's all they need. But what's your advice and what's your opinion on that?
My opinion on that is like, boy, all these guys that they think they're good and they got all the skill, but with boxing, you need the discipline, you need the dedication, you need the will to win, and you just need to stay in the gym as much as possible. And these guys nowadays, they ain't getting away with it. Like they say, hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. So I believe in that saying. Bro, I believe in that saying so much that I've seen it over the years happen, where a guy is actually better than the person he's facing, but the person he's facing has actually just worked harder than him and then was able to get the win and beat him, or maybe even knock him out, which we've all seen upsets in boxing happen over the years. So it's literally about working hard and staying in the gym, man. If you ain't in the gym, you think you got all the talent and you ain't working to improve your talent and to improve your fitness and conditioning, it's only a matter of time until you get found out. So, yeah, man, that's what it is, bro.
And you have nowhere to hide.
You got nowhere to hide. No one can come and save you. This is not WWE. You can't tap your friend, let him come and fight for you. It's you and yourself in there.
What I find more painful is the body shots. The headshot, you can shake them off.
Yeah.
As long as your opponent doesn't have a knockout blow. But the body shot, because they eat at you.
Yeah.
And you trying to keep the defense up. And you're trying to protect. Then you think, I'm dropping it. It's coming, and you can't maneuver properly. What's your favorite, the body punch or the knockout blow?
You know what? They're both sort. For me, they're both sort of the same. But I've never been like knocked out cold before in my whole career, so I wouldn't know what it's like to be out cold. But I know what it's like to be hit. I know what it's like to be buzzed by a punch, and I know what it's like to be hit with a body shot by a punch. And based off the two, and from what people have told me, I know a body shot is actually worse than getting knocked out cold. Because when you get knocked out cold, you get knocked out after about 10, 20 minutes, your senses start to come back, and you're fine within an hour or 2 hours, and that's it. But a body shot, when you go down, you feel every single bit of pain. And the worst thing is, you're trying to get air to breathe and you can't even breathe. You can't even breathe. So that's the worst of it. You feel that pain, you're in that moment. But when you're knocked out, it's like, boom, you're gone.
Because your body is a defense mechanism. Your body shuts off.
Your body shuts off.
So you can be, it's preserving your safety. Whereas because I remember when, as I said, one of the kids got me in a body shot and I went down, I put a knee down, I had to go down.
Yeah.
And I was angry, but the pain is taking over. And I just like, I want to, and I knew you know when you just know, I knew in that moment, I can't touch this kid. I literally, skill-wise, I had the power, but I couldn't get to the kid. So that was painful. Why boxing? Why did Chris decide to go? I mean, you could have done football, you could have done basketball.
I was into football as well a bit.
Why boxing?
For me personally, I thought boxing is one of the combat sports are one of the sports where it's only you there. So you don't have to rely on anybody else to pass you the ball, throw you the ball, set you up for an assist. And I thought, for me, I only want to rely on myself. If I mess up, that's on me. If I make a mistake, that's on me. And from young, I loved football, but relying on other players to do some of the work for you, that's what I didn't like. I never liked, with football, people point fingers and blame each other. Oh, it was his fault, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. With boxing, it's all on you. So that's what made me love the sport and just made me close to the sport, because I knew it's only I can do the job. Only I can do this job. I don't need to have a team of 11 people to help me. I need to go there and get that win.
That's so interesting, because a lot of people, we run away from ourselves.
Yeah,
and as you said, football, because I used to play football as well. And when you make a mistake, it's never your fault. Like if you lose the ball, you don't want to track back. So a lot of people hide in that moment. Oh, it wasn't my fault. Yeah, we lost 7-0. It wasn't my fault. Oh, it was him. He didn't help me. He didn't try.
It was this guy. Oh, you didn't through ball it to him. You held the ball too long. Oh, this and that. Everyone's blaming each other.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Whereas as for you, you went the opposite and said, I want to get in touch with myself. That's powerful. Definitely. Do you remember that feeling when you decided, you know what, it's me against the world?
I don't remember it, but I just, growing up so young, because my older brother got me into football, growing up so young and playing football at the time, it made me think, because I was going boxing as well, so I was doing both. So it made me think, nah, I don't want to rely on anybody. If I mess up, just let it be on me. That's it. So I was thinking like that from young. So I always knew that this is the path I was going to take.
That's amazing.
You know?
You alluded to, first of all, before we got that, favorite boxing match?
What's been my favorite?
Yeah. Not of your fights.
Okay.
The big boys.
The big boys.
Do you go back and study the fights of the old?
Yeah, 100%. I'm a lot now in studying new school fighters. Reason being, this is our generation. Yeah. I'm keeping up with the times. But a lot of the old fighters, me personally, I think they'll walk all over the new fighters.
I say that, but people because no disrespect to any heavyweight fighters, but I think the old fighters, they were monsters.
They were beasts, man. They were beasts.
Like just the side, they were monsters. And I believe, I think boxing has got more, it's more of a business than it was. Obviously everything has become more of a business. But I believe the old fighters wanted to fight the toughest guy out there. They didn't let no politics get in the way, I am going against the biggest, because my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, I believe the big fighters these days, they don't want it. I think it's more
unless it's a big payday, a very big payday. See, this is what I'm saying about old school fights. Old school fights, for instance, the Fantastic Four, Sugar Ray Leonard, Robert Duran, Marvin Hagler, and Thomas Hearns, they were the best four in their weight categories. They all fought each other. Yeah? They all made big money in them years. Now, you get, let's say, a category, let's say the light heavyweight division. You got Josh Boatzy, Callum Johnson, Anthony Yard, Craig Richards, Lyndon Arthur. All of them should be fighting each other. Only Lyndon Arthur's fought Anthony Yard. That's about it. But these are actually big, big fights in the UK, which I want to see, which all the supporters want to see. So the promoters need to come together and make something happen. But the politics, the money is stopping all of this.
But yes, I hear what you're saying. But I've seen fights, big fights, was meant to happen, and they said no to it. And yes, the money wasn't fair. The split's not fair. We're not going to disagree with that. But then they take on lesser fights with even lesser money. So I'm thinking, yeah, okay, the other person might get more. Yeah, you feel that you could have got more, but you just beat because you believe you're going to beat him.
Yeah.
You beat that guy. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Not today's price.
Your price
True.
goes up. And not only that, you beat one of the toughest guys. I don't know. I mean, if I was brave enough to stay in boxing, I would want to go after them. This is my opinion. I think a lot of boxers, politics got in the way, as you said. At least we agree on that. The old fighters, like, I want to fight you. Like, this is not about the money. This is what we do.
Definitely.
So, yeah. So going back, your favorite fight? What's your favorite fight of all
my
time?
favorite fight of, I got so many, and I don't really like to do the favorites thing. I've just never done it. Like, I don't have like a favorite food or a favorite film or anything. I got lists, but for me, if I'm gonna put it down to perspective, my favorite fighter is Sugar Ray Leonard. The fights he's had, Robert Duran, Thomas Hearns, that is my classics that I love to watch. I even love watching Sugar Ray versus Floyd Mayweather Sr. All them fights. So yeah, man, Sugar Ray, like I say, is my favorite, but I also love watching people like Mike McCallum, Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Robert Duran. Now he's entered one of my favorites, just the little things that he does. And boxing to me is like an art, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually enjoy the art side of boxing rather than the
skills,
fighting side. Me personally, because I just want to see the elegance, the finesse, the movement, the body shot. I just want to see a boxer out thinking another boxer. The setup. Okay, you come here. I just love it. Like you walked into it, because you have to be 5 steps ahead.
Of course, yeah.
And when it comes through, it's just beautiful. But we're so much in the entertainment world where a lot of people think that's boring. They just want to see, let's go. They want to see like the Dylan White and Chisora kind of fights.
Yeah.
Which don't get me wrong, they have their, but I just like, I like the
skill set. Of course. There's, like I always say, there's 2 sides to boxing. There's the boxer and the fighter. And the boxing purists like myself, I like the skill set side to see what is this fighter doing, why is he doing it, and from doing it, what is he gonna do? What's gonna come off from the other fighter? Like they say, good fighters can capitalize on your mistakes, but great fighters will make you make mistakes. So, and I like watching the great fighters.
Because you slick.
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right.
No, you slick.
Yeah,
you slick.
Yeah.
You. So when you get in the ring, you believe.
Of course.
You know you're gonna win the fight.
Sure.
When you feel that first punch hits you, how much of your training goes out the window?
It all depends. Depends how strong he is. Is he a puncher? What kind of fighter is he? But a lot of the time, I just think, this guy can't hurt me. Whatever he does, he's got a good punch, but he will not hurt me. That's in my head. and we're just gonna keep fighting. And I know I'm coming out on top, no doubt. So everyone has different ways of thinking in the ring. Like some people just block it out, but for me, it don't matter how strong you are. Nope, it didn't hurt. I'm gonna keep moving, keep doing what I'm doing in the ring.
Because there's always that moment when you can look at your opponent's eyes and know I got him.
100%.
There's always that moment, like
Definitely.
yeah, I've got you.
Definitely.
And what's your strategy then when you're in that zone?
I'm gonna go back to not my last fight, the fight before, where I had a long time out, and I come back. I was very nervous. I didn't know if I was ready for this fight. I knew I was ready, but I didn't really know if I was really, really ready, because this is going from fighting a journeyman to fighting a champion. So I'm going from that side of boxing straight to fight someone. And the first 3 rounds, it was like getting back into my motion. In that time of me being in the ring, I was out for 16 months, and I come back and I fought this guy. He was a champion, strong, tough. He ain't gonna back down for nobody. The first couple rounds, I was literally, bro, I don't even know what I was doing. I was just going with the flow, literally all down to my skill set. But the 4th round, when I hit him with a right hand, with a 1-2, literally from that moment, I knew I had him. I knew he was gonna go down at one point. Or if it's gonna be the next round, round 6, whatever, I knew in my head, this guy's going down.
And your opponent knows as well.
He probably knew as well.
They do, because it's just like, oh shit, I messed up. He's seen it.
Yeah, true.
So then how do you go on attacking that? Do you then build it up, or do you just go for the kill straight away?
It all depends. I'm a fighter where if I have you hurt, you have to go by before that bell. I don't like to waste time. You don't get paid for overtime in boxing.
And you never know what might happen.
And you never know what might happen. You might be at the end of the stick the next round.
Yeah.
So I like to go in straight for the kill. But sometimes it's always good to take a step back and just build on that again and just say, okay, cool, I know I got you then, but I'm not gonna throw that shot again until maybe the next round or 2 rounds before, because I'm gonna disguise and keep throwing a certain shot that you won't see coming when I throw this shot that I got planned. So it's all up to you in your mind, and all up to what the coach can see in the corner, because that's your second pair of eyes, right? You know that. So sometimes what I might see in the ring is different to what you can see. You might have a clearer vision of, he keeps doing this, he's got a habit of doing this, capitalize on it. But I might not have seen that when I'm with him face to face in the ring fighting.
Champ, I don't ever want to step in the ring with you. I don't want to ever step outside the ring with you.
Yeah, we're good.
But you got to think of this. Before you fight a man, do you believe you should study your opponent, or you should go in there knowing your strength and that's enough?
No, you got to do studying your opponents, man. You got to know what's coming. You got to know what his strengths are, what his weaknesses are, and what you could possibly capitalize on in there. Back in the days, it was hard because there was none of these cameras. You couldn't get cameras like that to go and see who's fighting who, or how is this guy's fighting style like compared to this guy. But now, I was speaking to a coach before, James Cook. He's big in boxing. He said, now, if I was fighting you guys, it will be easy. I just go on YouTube, look at all your fights. It's all there. That's how I know how I'll beat you. So you have to do the studying, man. If you want to beat a man, you have to do the studying.
And I guess that's like everything else in life. You can't just walk into it. And that's why I love boxing. I'm a fan, and I believe boxing is the one of very few sport that's real life. As you said, it's you against you, you against the
sure.
world, and no matter how great of a fighter you are, you can never step in that ring. One, disrespecting your opponent.
For sure.
Two, not preparing for that fight.
For sure.
Because you're gone. And we've seen it many times over where the hype of the one boxer just too much, top of the world, I'm the man. Throughout the years, get in that ring, overweight, lack of training.
Andy Ruiz against Joshua. Coming in shape the first time round.
Do you know what? That one, because I was at that fight in New York.
Yeah, okay.
I personally believe something was wrong with Joshua on that day. A lot of people, even when he was walking to the ring, and I'm not saying this because I'm a fan, I just personally believe something was wrong with Joshua. I hope later on down the years we'll find out the truth.
I'm sure you will.
I don't think Joshua is the type of person to say, oh, this, that. I think he took the L. But what I loved about him, he came back and he boxed.
Of course.
And a lot of people was upset that he
Yeah.
boxed.
Because they want to see that fighting style, the aggressiveness of Joshua when he boxed Ruiz. But that's what Ruiz done, capitalized on Joshua's aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Took his head off the line, threw a hook, Joshua was there for it. And really and truly, he's got the range. What's the point?
The funny thing is though, I think the rematch, Andy Ruiz didn't prepare.
He didn't prepare. He said, look at how he come in on the scales. It was terrible. It was terrible. He said in the interview when he beat Joshua, he said, Mom, our lives are changed forever.
Yeah.
So he was living that life.
And that's real life. That's the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Real life.
Never get too comfortable.
He got too comfortable. He said it. He said, Mom, we don't have to struggle no more.
And imagine 2 years later, you're going back.
It's mad.
God forbid.
It's mad.
So we're talking about boxing. We're talking about real life. When I watched boxing on TV, I was fortunate enough to box. A lot of people are not. When they watch boxing on TV, easy. I could have knocked him out. Why didn't you knock him out? Why didn't you throw that hook? Why didn't you do that? You crazy. Move it. Get in there. Do that. Let's talk about the ugly side of boxing. The training.
It's not the ugly side, but
no. Come on, Chris.
It is. It's not the ugly side, but it is the ugly side.
Yeah. I mean, it prepares you.
For sure.
But I don't know, you might be a weird one. Do you enjoy training?
I enjoy training sometimes.
Okay, good.
Sometimes you gotta enjoy it. This is what we do. I enjoy the sport of boxing.
Yes.
So I enjoy training. I know when to train hard. It's good to train hard, but sometimes now, as I'm getting older, I've realized it's better to train smarter. So as Floyd got older, he said he trained a lot smarter than he did when he was younger. When I was younger, I would train hard.
What's hard? What's hard training to you in boxing?
Hard training to me, just literally at times like being so exhausted where I just want to go home and I'm gonna eat and sleep. Like literally runs. I've been doing 5 a.m. runs since I was about 14. Waking up 5 a.m., going for a run, doing what I need to do. But now it's like, you gotta train smarter. I need a bit more sleep. As an athlete, I think we need much more sleep than the average person. So I'm talking maybe from 8 to 12 hours of sleep every day. So even if that's getting in a nap in between sessions, I try to do that as well, just to let my body recover. So yeah, man, it's for me now at this point, I'm training a lot smarter than I did before.
But still hard, ladies and gentlemen.
But still hard for sure.
It's still hard. So, how many days a week are you training?
6 days a week.
How many hours a day?
Hours, probably about 4 to 6 hours a day.
4 to 6 hours of drills.
Of drills, could be running, could be sprints, could be conditioning, strength and conditioning, and could be sparring, could be anything, you know.
And you're just going. And last time we spoke, he was not even in the country. He was training, altitude training.
Yeah, Spain.
What's that like? Cause
altitude.
I do hill sprints, and if you see the hill, you laugh at me.
Yeah.
Two runs up the hill, I'm like, what's your attitude? Because you got Spain.
Altitude training, that was like, even when you're walking, you're out of breath. Because you're like 2,000 whatever, I don't know if it's meters or whatever, above sea level. So it's a lot harder to even just breathe normally. Like, you have to drink like excess amount of water just to make sure that you're hydrated. And the training over there was great, man. It opened my eyes. It massively opened my lungs as well. So it was mad, man. It was a great experience. Definitely.
Listen, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But you feel good after
100%.
You feel good.
Definitely.
When I come back lighter.
When I come back to London, I come back lighter, and it was like I was trying to get tired, but I couldn't get tired. Like, it's crazy. It's like I couldn't get tired. So it's mad, trust me.
Talk to us about your gym sessions. So you're in the gym.
So
I'm in a gym. It's a sauna, right?
It's a sauna, bro. It's a sauna. So, like, my weekly schedule, let's say I started off Monday, I'll do a 5 a.m. run, come back, chill out, then I got
How long is that
boxing.
5 a.m. run?
Could be an hour, could be minimum 30 minutes, maximum hour and a half.
At what pace?
Just nice, easy pace. All depends. If I'm going 30 minutes, 35 minutes, then it's at a decent fast pace. If I'm going for about an hour and a half, it's at a nice steady state pace. So I'll do that in the morning, then
Sorry, is that a
gym.
road run, park run, or treadmill?
Road run.
Okay.
Road run. Gym, afternoon, about 2, 3 o'clock. I could be sparring, I could be doing technical drills, I could be doing bag work, I could be doing pad work. All depends what the coach has set out for us. So yeah, man, it could be a hard conditioning session on the bags, pads, mixed up with just like everything together. So yeah, but I think I've gotten used to doing drills now, even though they're so boring and it's just repetitive. But at a time when you go in to spar, you actually see the difference and things start working and you start doing things just naturally, you know? So, yeah.
Muscle memory comes in.
Muscle memory, for sure.
And he's like, oh, I did that. And that's a good feeling. You know,
Yeah,
when you're in the
that is
ring, you know, when you're
wonderful feeling. And it's like, when you're in the ring, you can't really see yourself. So you're like, raw, how did I perform? And then when you watch the fight, you're like, raw, did I do that? Raw, did I do that? Okay, yeah. So, and it's just a good feeling, man.
Champ, you putting in hard work and hard work's paying off. Now,
For sure.
you alluded to it earlier. We see the fun side. We see the glamour side. Let's talk about the materialistic and financial side of boxing. How lucrative is boxing?
Now, since 2012 Olympics, there's been a shift. I think people like the likes of Anthony Joshua, females for the likes of Nicola Adams and stuff, they won gold medal and they literally blew the sport of boxing up. People like Floyd, doing all the talking, the marketing skills that he had, all the trash talk, actually made boxing so lucrative now at this day and age. So now you see, obviously, fighters, they could be under the radar. And Deontay Wilder went on Good Morning. He was in London one time. He went on Good Morning News, and he said, boxing is a sport where yesterday you could have been flat broke, but today one of the richest athletes in the world. And that's what boxing is like. So it's, to that side there, it's a different life, man. You can go from living one life to living the sad life to the good life, literally in one fight. But the good thing about boxing is you can't get too big-headed, because one fight could actually humble you back down to where you come from, you know? So that's one of the main things, man, where you just gotta be on it at all times.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say humbling down, because I know for a fact, I won't say I've never had fights in my life. I had fights in my life, not just the 2 fights in the ring, outside. As much as you think you're gonna damage the other guy, when you feel another man's punch, there's just something weird happens. You have a different level of respect for him.
100%.
And understanding.
Definitely.
And you be like, I respect you, or woman for that matter. I respect you 100%. As a person, because,
when someone knows you can fight, it's a different level of respect in it. It's like, oh, yeah, you can fight. I've been, it's mad. I've been to a gym where I've gone in there, I've been happy. I've gone in there, said, oh, hi to everyone, and everyone's just like getting their stuff going, not saying nothing. The gym's quiet, but there's loads of people in, people talking, whispering, whatever. Then I've done my work, or I've gone in the ring to spar, and in between the rounds, I can see all of them. They're nodding their heads. Like, yeah, I can see them. So now I've got all their respect. I've come out, oh, good sparring, mate. Good sparring. Oh, you can fight. I've gone to Poland, gone in there for a training session. I've gone in the change room. People are whispering. They're looking at me, whispering, or looking at me. I've done pad work, bag work. They've come straight away, asked for pictures. Different level of respect. So that's how it goes, man. When someone knows you can fight, there's a different level of respect. Yeah,
because it hurts. Like, it hurts, as you said, it hurts and it humbles you. And you have no other alternative, unless you got some real deep hate for that person outside in that moment. You'd be like, because you're amongst warriors. So when you walk in that gym, you're amongst warriors. And to a certain extent, as humans, we're animals. You have to earn, I don't think it should be like that. I think people should naturally respect each other and understand, but that's life. So as a warrior, you earn yourself, like, okay, boom, he's good.
He's good, yeah.
He's one of us.
For sure.
He's one of us. So yeah, no, keep doing what you're doing. So we're going back to the lucrative. I'm not going to let you get off this. Because we talked about off camera.
Yeah.
If you don't want this, we can edit it out.
No, this is straight raw for you guys.
How much are you worth, champ? You don't have to tell us the specific, because you got into boxing for the love of it. And I think that's the great thing, to get into anything for the love.
For sure.
Where a lot of people get into things, for the money. And they end up not making money because they're looking for the money. Whereas opposed, if you're in something for the love, the money comes.
The money comes, for sure. For sure. And on that question, I've been boxing since the age of 8 years old. I'm 29 now. And I still love the sport like I'm gone back to my younger days. All I ever done was box when I was young. And even now, I don't even watch the money now. even though I'm getting older and I need to start thinking about things and outside of boxing, I still look at boxing as a hobby to me, and that's the good thing about it. But in terms of that and the money, now it's different because as an amateur, when I was an amateur boxer, it was all about who's the best. If you was the best, you'll win the national title, become number 1 in the UK, get onto the GB squad, fight for GB, go to all these tournaments, go to the Olympic qualifiers, go to the Olympics, get your medal. But if you're a pro boxer, it don't matter how good you are. You can be the best fighter on the planet. If nobody knows who you are, if you can't sell tickets for these promoters, they don't want to know you. And that's the thing. So now it's about your marketing skills. It's about social media. We all got these phones, Instagram. How many followers you got?
About 700.
They'll look at that. You got 700 followers. How many tickets can you sell? What can you do? That's what I'm saying. So that's what it's about. It's about your following now, and based off of my network and based off of my skills, as you see, I recently got signed to Sky Sports and promotional company Boxer. So
congratulations, champ.
Thank you. I would like to say that I believe I'm the best welterweight in the country, and I wouldn't put a price on my head, but I let the skills do the talking for all you lot, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, he said right, that when he was younger, he used to watch the money. Now as he's gone older, he doesn't watch the money. So basically, he said that he doesn't watch the money, and we know the kind of people who don't watch the money when they got enough money.
No.
For those of us who don't have money, we watch you know, nowadays you say we got the mobile phones, we got online banking.
Yeah.
It's not payday. No one owes you money, but you still check it just in case. Say some money come in.
See what's going on.
Yeah, that, as you said, it's the love. I mean,
for sure.
A lot of people chase money, and you're always gonna chase money. Find your love, do what you do, and you'll find it. And you love boxing because you go to a lot of fights
all the time.
You support people that don't even know who. You just support. You watch a lot of fight.
For sure.
Do you go in there as well to learn what's going on, to keep current within the up and coming, or what's your reason, or just the love you got for?
Just the love of the sport, man. As well as me being a fighter, I'm also a fan of boxing. So I just love going to the shows, the atmosphere, seeing the ring walk, seeing the supporters supporting their fighter they're coming to see, seeing the fighters get it on, seeing a good fight, and just going home with a smile on my face, literally, from boxing.
That's amazing.
It's crazy.
All right. Can you give us the step-by-step guide you can to becoming a boxer? So there's a kid out there who wants to be a boxer. How can they be where you are? Not even where you are. How can they better you?
With boxing, I think you have to start on your mind. So you have to ask and question yourself, do you really want to do this? Are you willing to not give up when the going gets tough? Are you willing to have your pride taking the L and having everybody in the world see you take a loss and being beat down? Are you willing to dedicate yourself to the sport? Because this is all about hard work and dedication. It's all about determination, all about will to win. So you need to ask yourself them sort of questions first before you even step into any gym. You need to ask yourself, is this for me? Is this what I want to do? And if all the questions if all the answers to them questions are yes, you just find a gym, find a gym local to where you are, and get to work, man. Because some people, they can go to a gym and within a month they can pick up things like that, like so quickly. Some people it might take a couple months. Some people might even take a year to start. So once you started, you've had a few fights, go into championships, get your rankings up in the country, and then from then you decide if you really want to take this further, go into the GB squad, set up boxing for England, and then probably try in the Olympics. If not, turning professional. But when you turn professional, you have to know that business always comes first. Because even now, in the position I'm in, 5 years I wasn't signed to anybody. But that means it took me 5 years to get the deal that I just received now. So within the 5 years, that whole 5 years, I was working. I was working, literally. And it's only now that I've been able to get a contract with Sky, a big promotional team, who are going to push me out there. So are you willing to sacrifice the time? That's another question you got to ask yourself. So if you're willing to do that in the professional boxing, then always know with professional, it's business first. And don't take anything personal.
Wow. It's interesting you say that, because when I see you box, I'm like, yeah. Then I see you get that deal. I'm like, yeah, I want to be like him. Then I'll go in the ring, in the gym, and I want it now. I want it next week. It took you 5 years.
5 whole years.
Ladies and gentlemen.
To get a deal.
5 years. You know, it's
5 years of hard work, dedication, 5 years of blood, sweat and tears, man, because that's what it's been.
And that's what we don't see. That's what we don't see behind the scenes. And I thank you for just simply breaking it down. It's not, okay, who do I know? Boom, no, 5. And we're not saying 5 years for an average fighter. 5 years for a great fighter. Like you don't need me to tell you this.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Sky would have not come to you and say, oh no. As you said, it's business.
Business, for sure.
If they thought you wasn't a great fighter, great potential, keep doing but no, he's a great fighter. 5 years, ladies and gentlemen.
For sure, yeah.
You know, it's wow. Thank you for that. Before we wrap up, so what we do here is, that's your camera, right? Look into that camera.
Yeah.
Let's close the show however you want to close it.
Of course, it's your boy, Chris 2Slick Kongo, the future world champion. And I'm here. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at 2SlickChris. Big up all the supporters. Big up my team. And I just want to thank Francis for bringing me onto here. And yeah, man, I'm back 26th of March. I'll be back at the Wembley Arena. So make sure you come, support. And yeah, man, see all you guys there. I'll be back in London.
26th of March. Can we get a little bit more insight on
that? Yeah. It's just a comeback fight, an 8-rounder. And yeah, man, it should be good. 6 weeks.
It's interesting about this fight. You don't know the opponent. So how are you preparing for this one?
Preparing as usual. And when the opponent comes, that's when we do the breakdowns in our camp. We've got a guy that does little breakdowns, spots his patterns, spots his advantages, disadvantages, and then we just build off that.
Do you stay ready 365 days, or do you take time off? Then when you're about closer to fighting season, obviously there's no fighting season in boxing, but you can get your schedule, you know your schedule, then you get back training, or do you constantly stay in shape?
Me personally, I constantly stay in shape, but I do have times where I have to have off because the body does need a rest. And you have to give your body a rest, because rest is also part of training. It's not training every day hard. That's not training smart. So me training smart, rest has to be involved in there. But majority of the time, 10 months in a year, I'm fully on, fully.
It's interesting you said rest is part of training. How long can one rest? Because I've been resting for about 4 years. Am I still in training?
4 years is different. I'm talking about a couple weeks, maybe a month tops, a month tops. Especially if you've had a hard 12-round fight for a title. Sometimes we start training for about 3 months. So if you're training for a whole 3 months, couple weeks to a month's rest is perfect for the body to come back, recover, and go again,
Yeah, no, champ. Thank you. Before you go, I have to ask this. As a boxer, a man who knows his way around the ring, don't want to get in no trouble.
Of course.
You don't have to answer this, but I hope you do.
Okay, go on, talk to me.
Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury? Who would your money be on and why?
I'm breaking it down here, and
I think I know who you're gonna choose.
You got Tyson, who very slippery, doesn't really get hit as much as the other heavyweights. Can move for a heavyweight and is big, You got Joshua, better when he's long to mid-range, short range, you don't really see him fighting. Can he apply the pressure to Fury? Probably. Can Fury outbox Joshua? Probably. But me being a boxing man and me knowing I know both. But
that's why I don't want to get you in trouble.
It's crazy. If I had a gun to my head, I'll go for the main man, AJ, to win.
Surprised then. I thought you would go for Fury.
Why? Because of the boxing.
Because you like boxing, and Fury is more of a natural boxer.
True.
Than AJ.
Of course,
so
but still.
You got me. For the record, no doubt.
Yeah.
And people I will go for AJ because I believe Fury is a better natural boxer than AJ, but I believe AJ is a better learner than Fury.
I get you.
Because AJ learns.
But it's mad because today, sometimes I'm on the fence, but if there was a gun to my head today, it would be Joshua. But I could watch Fury tomorrow and say, nah. I could call you tomorrow and say, nah, we need to come back and change that. I think Fury's going to win. You know what I mean?
I have to go with AJ. Even the fights that he lost, I could tell you why he lost his last fight.
Of course, definitely.
We said it earlier. He underestimated him.
For me, I don't think he underestimated him.
He didn't prepare.
He had the wrong tactics.
That's underestimating your opponent.
He had the wrong tactics.
I'm telling you, no one, only a very few people, like he came to win. And AJ was not even at his best.
Yeah,
and because his wrong tactics, I believe he got caught off guard. It was too late. Rematch, AJ's got this. 100%. And this is why I said he's going to learn. That's why I say he's a great learner.
He's a great learner.
Fury, however, I don't know what AJ has to. I hope we see that fight.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I got AJ. I'm an AJ fan. No disrespect to Fury.
Sure.
It'll be a great fight. Hope we see it. Champ, any closing words?
Closing words, just stay tuned, man. I'm coming. Definitely going to be a belt this year, probably even 2 or maybe even 3. But there's definitely going to be a big headline for me. I'm looking to headline probably end of the year, December somewhere. So, but yeah, man, I'm coming back and I can't wait to fight in front of my supporters again, man.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Find your love, find your true passion. You might not
Sure.
get it today, you might not get it tomorrow. It could be 5 years from now, it could be 10 years from now.
But it's coming.
It's coming. As long as you're after what you love, as Chris himself said it, it's not a job, it's a hobby. Imagine what you could do with everything at your disposal through your mobile phone on YouTube. It is, Chris said it, before you had no idea what your opponent is getting up to. Now you can just search on YouTube. This can apply for everything. When I started to be a pilot, a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, a plumber, it's all there. It's all literally in your hands. So please, ladies and gentlemen, go out there, find the best version of yours. While you sleeping at 5 a.m., remember, he's getting up, going for a jog. And this is a man who says he doesn't watch money. And why are you still in bed at 5 a.m. then? Ladies and gentlemen, till next time, love, peace, and happiness. Yes.
Lovely,
Sir Chris.
lovely, lovely.
Thank you, my brother.